Hey, back at it once again. It's your boy Lump Dog with the Pimps, Players, and Hustlers Fantasy Football League. I'm back at it. Commish message week 8. If you want to know who won, who lost, check the website. Got to give a big congrats out there to Any Given Sunday. Pulled his team out of the cellar with another win. Got himself the weekly prize again. Man, and being a new daddy, this is definitely his week, man, but he deserves it. He's a solid guy. So, man, congratulations there Any Given Sunday. If anyone deserves it, you did. So, again, congratulations. So, man, we're going to get into this week's commish message. I've been reading the boards, and I got kind of inspired to do a new segment called Look at the Numbers. And since a lot of our owners like to look at the numbers, and that seems to be the ongoing theme in the chat room on Sundays is to look at the numbers, I figured we'd put a spotlight on a team in the cellar here, and just see what the numbers look like for that team. So, of course, we're going to go ahead and spotlight the Juggernauts and see how their season's gone. So right now they're sitting at 3-5. Had a pretty hard start to the season. Started off week 1 losing to Team Brit 111 to 145. Followed up that performance with a 105-109 loss to Any Given Sunday. Then followed that up with his first win of the season, taking out the 18 124 to 106. Then he took a shit in the bed the next week after that and scored 96 and lost to the Brewdogs 96 to 107. Follow that up with another stinker, 88 points, and losing it to Sag Valley, 92 to 88. Breaks out the next week and just scores some astronomical 210 points, takes out the Fuck You 210 to 60, and then follows up with another good performance, takes out Ass to Mouth 137 to 132 to get his first 2-game winning streak of the season. But couldn't sustain it last week against the Colapapa Pimps, loses 96 to 101. And that's how he sits at 3-5. Next up, he's got coming up down the pipe, though, is URSO this week. That's a pretty tough matchup. Schedule gets a little easier after there for him. Ends up playing Patty's Playboys, who might be easy in some eyes, but he's been putting together wins, so I think that'll be a tougher matchup than what's thought. But then he goes with Papa's Rat Pack, Team Brit, and Any Given Sunday to finish out his last 3 games of the season. So definitely not out of it, but definitely on life support. One more loss. If he loses to URSO this week, he can only really afford one more loss out of those next 4 games. And it could happen against any one of those teams. I mean, when you put up 88, any given week, you could lose. So that's definitely possible. Now let's take a little closer look into the numbers here, too, on this team, because if you look at closer into the numbers, this team should definitely be better than where it sits. He's third in coaching ranking, but I think that has to do with him having no bench, so no one's blowing up on his bench. He doesn't have anybody on there to blow up. They're pretty much all bye-week replacements, and if anyone got injured and he had to rely on any one of those bench players, that's definitely wouldn't be very good for his team. And then he's 10th in schedule difficulty, so he's had a pretty easy schedule so far. So to be 3-5, that doesn't add up. But then we get down to the kind of the meat and potatoes here, and he's first in passing ranking, 5th in rushing, 1st in receiving, but then 11th in defense. So, I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you, with 1st in passing, 1st in receiving, and 5th in rushing, you should definitely have a better record than 3-5 when you look at the numbers. But I guess the really only number that really matters is the record, the wins and losses, because those 1st and 5th and 1st rankings really don't mean anything when you're 3-5. But, good rankings. I like them. They look good on paper. And then 11th and D, might need to get a better defense. Kind of curse there, bitten in the rear with the D. So that was look at your numbers. That was the Juggernauts. We looked at the numbers there. We all know it's out there. Everyone can look at them. They're on the website. See how it is. And I'd just like to mention, though, I did notice that I was looking back in the history books, and the Juggernauts, during his 2 championships, didn't pick up a free agent, didn't make any trades, And this guy now seems to be really panicky on the boards, picking up more guys than he needs, picking up guys he has to drop the same week, making trades with 70-year-olds. Still hasn't pulled off a trade with anybody under 70. So, I mean, he's only pulled off one trade in the 9 years or whatever, 7 years that he's been part of the league, 8 years or whatever it might be. Juggernaut's definitely a different owner nowadays than he was in the past during his championship years. I think he's really, really trying to search for that third championship and trying to do anything he can to try to get that. So, some other notes coming up here in the NFL. We have Thursday games starting next week, so make sure you're all prepared for that. That's going to be the that's going to be the Bears and the Niners next Thursday night. So, you want to make sure you have your lineup set and make sure you don't have anyone on your IR because that's when lineups are due. And then trading deadline, we're only 2 weeks away from that. It'll be a week from this Sunday. So, you got to make those trades, start trading depth for starters, if you can. So, some people are on life support here and need wins and don't need depth any longer. So, see what you can get, start time's running out pretty much. So, just make it happen if you need to make it happen. All right, man. So, that's pretty much it. This is Lump Dog, Commish, Pimps, Plays, and Hustlers. Commish Message Week 8. Good luck to everyone Week 9, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
Sacktown Radio.com. It's your boy Mike Measy, out here super busy, but I miss y'all so much. I'm still hustling, baby. Yeah, I'm still about the hustle. Like a smile with a dimple. See it big, keep it simple. I keep it hustling, baby. Yeah, I'm still about the hustle. Gotta always keep it moving. That's the definition of hustle. Hustling. And remember, always keep it tuned to SacktownRadio.com.